Why does my hair never look even? Hi, I'm Lam. Welcome or welcome back to Keeping Up with the Queen. If you click on this video in hope for checking out this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Blurring Powder Foundation, you're in the right place. I have heard so much of this foundation from when it came out, and now it's still really hot. So finally I bit the bullet and spend money because listen, I'm not just buying it for nothing. First of all, I've watched countless reviews where people raved about it. It has a really good rating on Sephora. I just need something quick now that I'm gonna start a new job. I want to get my face done quickly. I want a blurring effect, but I don't want a makeup kind of a look. I want it to look as smooth, as natural, as velvet as possible. So with the liquid foundation, they're good, but they tend to look a little bit thicker, and then you would have to set it with powder, which means there are two layers on top of each other, so it will start looking a little bit makeupy, and for a guy like me, I need it to look like nothing. Let's try it out together. Today we're going to put it to the test and wear it all day, and then at the end we are going to come together again and make a decision on whether this is worth keeping or it's a return. I was thinking between this and the Fenty Beauty powder foundation. That one got some nice reviews too on Sephora app, but it also got some negative reviews that's saying it got hard pan. Chose to go with this one instead. Let's head on to Sephora app and look at some claims and definition and explanation of this product, and then we'll get on to the demo part and fix this situation, okay? Okay, 1.3 thousand reviews on Sephora, and it has 4 stars out of 5 stars, and it has 109,000 hearts, which means that many people favorite this foundation. So it's pretty good. It's retail for $38 for 0.38 ounces or 11 gram of powder. There are 30 shades total, so there are a shade for everyone here. Hopefully, it looks like the shade range is pretty good. Since this is a powder foundation and it's more buildable, I think it's fine depending on your use. If you just use this on top of your foundation, like as a light setting powder, then the one shade can stretch through multiple skin tones. But if you use it like me, where you want it to be a one step and done, and just by itself on top of skincare and sunscreen, then you might want to really carefully find your correct shade. This is very important because we are going to base our experiment today, our wear test today, on these claims. So it's supposed to be 12-hour wear. It's a full coverage, blurring powder, matte finish, lifelike, okay? Never cakes, never flakes, never fades. So this has a unique flexi fit puzzle complex from Makeup Forever for lightweight feel and flexible coverage. Blurring technology smooths and mattifies, visibly reducing pores and absorbing oil for a balanced, natural look. That's all the information. Hold on, let me show you first. In case you want to see some info, you can pause the screen. This is the front of it. Ingredient list. This is the batch code that I got. This is the packaging itself. I am the shade Y315. Expiration date is 12 months. Made in France. You do have a nice sturdy mirror with like trimming on the side. I don't really like using this sponge except for when I'm touching up because I feel like it takes a long time to cover my whole face. I'm going to use a brush and I'm gonna apply half of my face first so that we can all see the differences. This is the e.l.f. blush brush, but I love it for the center of my face because I really can pack on pigmentation. You can use this for multiple things. I like to use it with my setting powder for the center of my face and highlighter, but you can use it for blush, you can use it for contour. It's a very versatile brush. I'm going to grab quite a bit of the powder, but remember the point is to be as natural possible. So I'm just gonna get this much and let's see. This is a great undertone for me. It's the perfect undertone actually. The color is just a tad darker than my face. It's not really a big deal because I'd rather it one shade darker than one shade lighter, you know what I mean? That's just gonna look a little bit more natural. We had to pause a little bit for the sun to get out of my way, and now we can resume. But what I did was bigger powder brush, and then let me try it. And then I just like dab it to blend the coverage everywhere from inside to outside. And there it is. This side has the powder, this side has no base product. Definitely the more you build it up with this little brush, the more coverage you will get, especially if you can see my under eye circle is like the biggest difference. This side is more even, this side is clearly a little bit more tired, if you will. And with this powder, the good thing is that it's a one and done. I just need to put on this powder and then I'm out the door. I don't need a concealer, I don't need a liquid foundation, I don't need then put a powder on top of it. Wow, it looks very naturally perfected. Of course, you can still see the texture like this little pimple right here, but it's greatly blurred and that is all I needed to do. But I bet if you keep layering it on, it's going to cover that quite a bit. It's not going to be a full coverage because then you would need to use a concealer underneath for those spots and then put the powder on top. But for just a powder itself, since the IT Cosmetic Celebration Powder Foundation, I haven't used a powder that is this natural but has coverage. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to do the rest of my face and then we'll be right back. 5 minutes later, that's all the time you're gonna need for this kind of makeup look. I literally just put on a tiny bit of contour, a little bit of Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow just to define my eyes a little bit, a tiny bit of blush using that Nudegasm face palette that I reviewed recently. Mascara Skin Blurring Powder Foundation in the shade Y315 from Makeup Forever is doing amazing. It blended out so beautifully. It doesn't crease, it doesn't cling on to weird patches, it does not emphasize pores. In fact, it smooths out my pores. You can definitely see a difference. It's even cover up the under eye circles and the redness around my face, and it fades into these spots that I have going on, and that's from building it up slowly. It's gonna be great if you want to touch up throughout the day as well. You just bring this or whatever touch up powder you prefer, and throughout the day just touch up and it won't look too cakey because there's actually technically only one layer of foundation on your face. If I want to, I can even shade out even more and not have as much packed on like today, and it would look even more natural. It would just slightly perfected my skin texture and color. This is probably a medium, solid medium coverage for me, and that's all I'm gonna need. So beautiful. It's definitely a blurring velvet powder foundation so far, but I'm going to wear this as long as possible today, and at the end of the night I'm going to come back here and tell you and show you how it looks at the end of the day, and we will just see together what the result of this experiment will be. But yeah, my tip is definitely to choose the right color, or at least the best color possible. This color is slightly darker than my face color. You can see my neck is slightly brighter, but it's not a crazy difference, and I don't think it's going to oxidize too much. It did get a little bit darker. I would say a quarter of a shade darker, so it's not that much of a difference. Another tip is to moisturize your skin and exfoliate your skin, because if you have super dry skin, if you don't do those steps, it would make your skin look very dry. It will cling on to dry flakes. It's just not gonna look pretty. So you want to moisturize and you want to exfoliate so there's no dead skin cell. It is currently 10:30 in the morning. I will see you in an unknown amount of hours later. Okay, goodbye. Now it is currently 6:36 p.m. so it is 8 hours already, and I'm ready to take a shower and remove all of this obviously and get on with my evening. For you, I have to come back here. So let's zoom you in and we will have a talk. I put this foundation through the day. Let me tell you, I've been wearing mask from time to time. Of course, I'm wearing my glasses. This is with no touch up. You can see my eyeshadow is kind of like melting away like my soul by this time. The foundation though, it gets a little bit shiny, but for no primer. I didn't use any primer. This is really good. It's not nearly as shiny as some of the other foundations that I have used, and with powder on top. I don't see it losing coverage anywhere. I would say the coverage is pretty consistent still. The color didn't oxidize further. It oxidized a little bit. You can see my neck where there's nothing. It looks a little bit lighter than my face now. It's very rare that you will find a perfect match for your skin tone with the exact product. So it's still very smooth. I don't see marks where my mask it smudged a little bit onto my glasses, but on my face honestly it didn't look bad. It doesn't settle into my lines on my forehead at all. It doesn't bunch up weird between my brows. It didn't break apart either. On my smile line, usually foundation would crease there, but this one does not. Now I'm going to try to touch up. Use the sponge, the black side. Okay, got a little bit there. Let's see here. This area is shiny, and then now this one is smooth again, and it doesn't look cakey or anything. Wow, that's kind of insane. Let's try part of the forehead. It is instantly mattify everything. So yeah, this is passing everything I'm testing it for so far. It's clearly my skin is combination skin, and it does not last for 12 hours like they claim, but it sure will last you 12 hours if you touch up once throughout the day. So you guys, I was hoping and I thought that this foundation would be the best powder foundation I have ever tried, and it kind of is right now. I have been using it for a week and a half now. Today is probably the longest I have been wearing it, and it works really well. I would highly recommend this foundation to you if you have normal combination skin. If you have oily skin, make sure you use a mattifying primer underneath of this, or a setting spray, or both of them. If you have dry skin, make sure you moisturize well, use a hydrating primer, and use a moisturizing setting spray so that everything looks smooth. And of course, exfoliate your skin regularly. I like the fact that it's one and done. I cut out multiple steps in my makeup routine. It makes things very quickly. It's compact, it's light, it's pretty sturdy. It feels like a makeup artist kind of like holy grail, you know. And for me, it is already becoming holy grail. It's already surpassed my beloved Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. That one is like this, but it doesn't have any coverage, and it doesn't last very long like this at all. This powder is behaving very similar to the IT Cosmetics powder foundation in Celebration or something, but that one doesn't have as many shades as this. So with this one, you are more likely to find a shade that match your skin tone much better. I will of course continue to use it and let you know if anything changes. Now I'm tired, so I will go shower. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click that bell notification button so you don't miss out on my future videos, and I will see you in my next one. Until next time, let the mirror shine into your soul. Don't flop.